Hey guys, I want to show you how my team actually markets properties, and I'm going to break everything down real details so you know exactly how we do it. And if you're a real estate agent watching, you'll learn how to get leads from your listings. The backbone of every real estate marketing campaign is the photography. We only hire the best photographers in the industry and hire professional photo editors so that your home is portrayed in the best light. There have been a lot of studies done on where buyers found their properties, and it really just comes down to two things: the internet and other agents. So those are the two sides of the equation that we tackle directly and indirectly, and we hammer both sides because that's where the buyer is. They're either online or the real estate agent said, hey, check out this home I found. By agreeing to offer a co-broker commission, that part of the commission that we charge that doesn't actually go to us, that goes to other agents, we're actually offering up the opportunity to sell this home to 50 or 100,000 other agents in the area, depending on where you live. So when we input the listing to the MLS, a couple major things happen. Number one, we're entering an agreement with every other agent that says, if you bring us a buyer, we'll pay you X amount of commission. That's number one. Number two is every one of those agents who have their current clients on automatic drip campaigns to send them new properties when they hit the market, they're going to get a notification that your home has hit the market with a link to see more photos. So we're getting exposure from the agents directly. The other thing it does is it populates to thousands of websites. So pretty much every website known to man, that's what I call a search portal. Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, every brokerage site. Keller Williams, Remax, Coldbanker, EXP, they all have a website that's consumer facing, and when a consumer goes there, your property will be on all those websites and every other small website. Pretty much every realtor who has a website with something called an IDX feed. If you're an agent and you don't have a website with an IDX feed, that's what you need to be able to have your customers search for properties on your website. If you check out my website, I'll put a link in the description down below, dfwrealty.com. It's one of my websites, a great example where anyone can actually shop for properties. It has an IDX feed. Now let's start going above and beyond the basics and go into some nitty gritty on what else we can do to market properties. Number one, when those emails are sent to all those other agents' clients, we actually can see that on the MLS as far as who has potential clients for our listings. It's called reverse prospecting. So you can go into the reverse prospecting tool and reach out directly to real estate agents who have clients who are interested in a property like yours, and they're getting the notification yours just hit the market. You can reach out to them directly, ask them if they had a chance to talk to their customer about your listing to see if they want to come view it. So what is reverse prospecting and how would you do this? Let's say you're an agent and you want to learn how to reverse prospect, or if you're a consumer and you want to know what we're doing on our end. And so here we are in our listing on the MLS. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's a little button that says reverse prospect. If you click this button, you're going to get a list of every real estate agent who has consumers or clients that are set up to receive your listing and listings like it whenever they hit the market, whenever their price is reduced. And so you can look at this list and you can reverse prospect it. So you can email these agents, you can call these agents, you can text these agents, and just find out if they're interested in scheduling a showing. Now through the system, there's really only one thing you can do directly. That's you can click on a name and you can send them an email. I don't like doing this. Number one, it's extremely time consuming. As an example, this property is a high priced property, so there's not a whole lot of consumers that are getting this information about the property, but it's still a pretty good sized list. I mean, there's like 75 agents here. This would take me a long time to individually click on each one of these and send them an email. Even if I copied and pasted the email copy, I would have to have two copies, the subject line and the main message, and it would take a long time. Now imagine you have an average price property and there's over 1,000 agents. There's no way you're going to individually click all these. So what can you do? Just copy them, select them all, go all the way down here and select them all. And then you can copy this list and you can paste it into a spreadsheet. Once the list is in a spreadsheet, you can export that to like a CSV file and upload it to a lot of different CRMs that will allow you to mass blast emails and even text messages to these agents. You can call them directly as well. Now, depending on who they are, you might call them. You might try going on the list of calling. You can upload this to like a Mojo dialer and triple line dial these agents. We do a lot of triple line dialing on my team. It's extremely effective and efficient when making phone calls. You don't have to manually dial a phone number in. You can literally upload the list, hit play. It starts calling 3 people at a time, and so you're going to get a lot more conversations in way less time. And so once you've got that, you can send it to your CRM of choice. Personally, I like Mojo a lot. It has email as well as phone dialing capabilities. For text messaging, I like LionDesk because it allows a lot of text messages for very cheap. But there's a lot of other platforms out there, and so you can use anything you want once you've exported it to a spreadsheet. Once the listing is live, it will become active on my website, and so then I can actually post my website links to social media pages like Facebook and share it to tons of groups. Now here's a pretty cool secret. You can join lots of groups in a specific area, like buy, sell, trade groups, and post new listings to these groups to get organic exposure that you don't have on your page. Like for example, let's say you have 2,000 friends on Facebook, but this buy, sell, trade group has 50,000 members. Well, what if you're a member of 10 different buy, sell, trade groups in that area? And so now instead of getting 2,000 eyes on it, all of a sudden you can get 500,000 eyes on it. That's organic exposure at its finest. And so whenever I tell agents to advertise my listing, I'm going to send them a video showing them how to join these groups and how to post a link from your website to all of these groups. And very few of them will actually kick you out. I've joined hundreds of groups, and not very many of them even kick me out for doing this. As long as you're not spamming the listings, they're not going to kick you out. Now, another thing that I like to do is to invite other agents to market my listing. It's one thing for me to market the listing. It's another thing to have a ton of other agents doing the marketing as well. So for example, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, EXP has about 1,200 agents. So I can actually email all of them at once. In fact, I do this. I email all of them and say, hey, I'm giving you explicit permission to advertise my listing. And I'm going to go one step further and send them a video link, which I'll attach right here, that shows them how to market a listing on social media for leads. So they'll want to do it, and it's going to expand out to their sphere. This is a cool trick to encourage all the agents in your office to advertise your listing. So what you're going to do is click on your listing in the MLS, click on edit, and go down to manage showing time. From showing time, we can send a notification to all the agents in my firm. In this case, there's 1,200 agents in my brokerage in the DFW area. And so all I'm going to do is actually send them an email, essentially. So what I'm actually going to send them is tell them they have permission to advertise the property. I'm going to send them a link to the property so they can see what it is. And I took it one step further and created another video teaching them how they can advertise the property on their social media to create leads, which should encourage them to post the property. And then we need to come up with a catchy subject line because this is an email. I've put in the brokerage in little parentheses to kind of make it stand out, saying it's permission to advertise, the price of the listing so they know it's a big one, or whatever's special about it, something to help them determine to advertise it. Now by hitting send, I'm actually going to send out 1,200 emails just like that to agents in our area that are part of my brokerage, giving them express permission to advertise the listing. Video can be a really powerful tool to help you market properties. Now, unfortunately, the main portals, Zillow, Trulia, or Realtor.com and the likes, don't really support video. I don't know why. My suspicion is that it's just too much data for their servers. If you have millions of properties for sale and you have videos on all of them on your server, it's going to take up a ton of storage space. So maybe that's why they're not supporting it. But either way, photos go great on those websites. Now, video has its place, and it's social media. And so there's all these new algorithms out there on the new social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram Reels that are really pushing video. So you'll need to take upright video instead of sideways video. So YouTube, it does the sideways video like this one, but Reels from Instagram and TikTok videos are up and down, which unfortunately isn't that great for real estate photography or videography. because you can't see as much in a up and down window as you can in the sideways window. But that's just the way that their platforms work. And so if you take a walkthrough video of the property, you can post it to these sites and get tons of views organically. Now these are views of just people that are interested in pretty homes. So will it help you sell a property? I don't know. There's really no telling for that. It's all about exposure. The name of the game is eyes on the prize. So you want to get as many eyes as possible on your listing to win. Another awesome strategy is actually just email. Now, I happen to have every real estate agent's email. I'm not going to email every agent in the country. That would be absurd. And on top of that, it would take years to do because I can only send out about 1,000 emails a day. But let's take an example of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. There's only about 50,000 agents in Dallas-Fort Worth. I can send out an email to all of them within a month or two at 1,000 emails a day. Now, don't send out emails on every listing you have because that's going to get annoying. And don't send out emails on small listings or ones that are going to sell quick and easy anyway. But on your luxury listings, you can use this as almost like a refresher. Like whenever the listing first hits the market, agents, consumers are going to get notified, and that's kind of like the first marketing push. But after it's been on the market for, let's say, a month or two, depending on the price point, maybe you want to give it another little push, another, hey, look at us, look at us. So we can send out an email to all the other agents in the area and be like, hey, check out this awesome luxury listing. And they'll actually like looking at the photos because it looks freaking awesome. Whereas if you're sending out an email about this, hey, check out this $200,000 normal home, agents are like, what? I don't care about this. Like, these are a dime a dozen. But the high dollar ones, you can actually get away with doing that, and people will actually enjoy looking at these pictures because that's one of the things we got into business for. At least for me as a real estate agent, I like pretty homes. And so that's kind of a bonus, and a lot of agents like looking at pretty homes. There's three main factors that control a home sale: price, condition, and marketing. And in fact, price and marketing are one and the same if you ask me. I think they're extremely correlated. The price is part of the marketing. The price is often seen before the photos themselves, so it's absolutely part of marketing a home. If you're not priced right, it's not going to sell. You're not going to get the views. You're not going to get the in-person showing requests. Now, someone might look at the photos, but when they look at the price, they're gonna do their own math to see if they think it's over or underpriced. The more lower you price it, the more eyes you're going to get on it. Now, to a point, you still want to price a home at market value unless you're looking to fire sale and really have to get rid of it before like a foreclosure or something. You might price it low, and the market will actually fix the price. If you price it too high, it will sit on the market. You'll eventually have to lower the price. You'll end up negotiating with the buyer, and you'll get to market value. Market value is just what someone pays for it, right? Now, if you price the home too low, you're going to get so many eyes on the property that you end up with multiple offers, and it will go up and get to its new market value. Now, during a really hot market, this works better than it does during a thin market or a slow market, because in a thin or slow market, even if you price a home low, you might not get multiple offers, so you have to be careful. And so pricing a home properly is key. Now, whenever you reduce a home price, that's not a bad thing. In fact, it's actually a good thing. Let me explain why. So I don't know if you remember earlier in the video, I stated that whenever your home first hits the market, it's going to go out as a notification to every potential buyer that has already hooked up with an agent who set them up in an automatic drip campaign in the MLS. Well, when you reduce the price, that's going to go out to them again. So maybe it went out first and they looked at it and they thought, oh, it's overpriced and I don't want to look at it. But then boom, you reduce the price. They get another email that says price reduced, and they see it again like, oh, remember this home, maybe we should go take a look at it. Now it's priced right. So you can fix the price over time and whatnot. And price reductions is kind of a art/science, just like pricing a home. You can't get the exact market value because market value is not stated until it's sold. What about open houses? Open houses actually can increase exposure, and it's not in the way that you think they do it. So let me explain why. So when you host an open house, yes, you put signs outside and people drive up to the open house and whatnot. Now, those outdoor signs don't really do a whole lot in terms of marketing because people see a sign, they might not even know anything about the property, they just follow the signs, end up at your home. Could be completely not what they want at all, or it could be perfect. Chances are it's not what they want at all. People usually figure out what they want online, and the chances of someone just randomly going to a house from some directionals and being like, this is the one, pretty slim. Now, open houses are great for the real estate agents because of all those people that are coming in and the home is not what they want, and they're able to connect with that agent in person, and that consumer then becomes a lead who that agent can turn into a client to buy something else. Now, something does happen online whenever you create an open house. In fact, two things happen. Number one, if a consumer is set up to receive the open house listings through a portal, they're going to get a notification that, hey, this home has an open house. And number two, most consumer portals have an open house section. So people are searching for open houses only because they want to go view homes in person that weekend or whatnot. They can go to the open house section and they're going to see your listing as an open house. So that's where open houses can be good. When to host an open house? There's two main times that you want to host an open house. If you're in a really hot market and the market is just soaring, you need to host it on opening weekend. The home's going to sell pretty much in the weekend anyway, so you're not going to have another opportunity to host an open house, and you can get a few extra feet in the door if you host an open house on the weekend. The reason for that is because sometimes agents are busy, especially in hot markets. They're running around like chickens with their heads cut off, and the consumer says, hey, can we go look at this home this weekend? They're like, crap, I got 3 other showings, and let me get you a showing assistant. And so they're struggling and trying to find a showing assistant. It's so much easier just to be like, oh yeah, that one's got an open house. Go check it out on Saturday 1-3. And so you're going to get a few extra feet in the door that maybe couldn't make it. The next time you want to host an open house is almost to revive the listing. When you first go active on the market, your home is going to populate high up on the list. So whenever someone's searching on, let's say, Zillow, they're going to see the new listings first. And if you're a really high price point, your home's going to stay up there for way longer because there's less new high priced homes populating. But if you're in a mid price point, as other homes hit the market, you're just going to start going further and further down the list. Now that's just based on their search algorithms. A consumer can still change the search functions to price or just look on the map or whatnot. But whenever they're searching by newest, yours is starting to go further and further down the list. Now, whenever you host an open house, something happens. It populates higher up on the list. For that reason, you're getting a few extra eyes on it from the search portals, which is where the consumers are hanging out. And so after it's starting to get further down the list, you might do an open house after a couple weeks or a few months, depending on your price point, just to get you a little bump up on the algorithms. So that's how we market homes. It works extremely well. If you're a real estate agent watching, what are you doing different to market homes? What works? What doesn't work? I'd love to improve our processes if you know of anything that works to get more eyes on the prize.